Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Today we have a different type show as we had a little snafu on the planning, so we had to make a decision on the fly. So I do a bit of a Be Our Guest podcast State of the Union show. I talk about ways that you can connect with the podcast and a little behind the scenes on how we put the show out there and different ways you can consume the show that you might not have thought about over the past 18 years we've had the podcast out there. And just some kudos to folks that are doing great in our community. I also opened up the phone lines. We got a great call from Ashley out in New Jersey. We talked some Disney cruise, and boy, do I love talking Disney cruise. Hope you enjoyed today's show. A little bit different, but I think it was a lot of fun. Don't forget, today's podcast is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the lifeblood that keeps the show going. Thank you so much for that. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Well, hey, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to the BOGP Open Line / State of the Union show. I know things are crazy, right? It's episode 2702 with your host, Mike Rallman, one of the senior agents over at the Be Our Guest, over at the Magic for Less Travel, host of the Be Our Guest podcast. We're going to have a good time today. I promise you. To start the first week of June, I know you're all kinds of confused, right? We got the house band playing. Does that mean there's going to be live calls? Does that mean this show was recorded on a Sunday night? Maybe. Probably not. Who knows what's going to happen? We're going to have a good time getting together here because the schedules are off, because I have to record this one a little bit early because I will be heading to Walt Disney World as this show airs tomorrow night. That's right. Tuesday night, I'm heading down to Walt Disney World for just a couple of days. Staying in my last Walt Disney World hotel, other than the Wilderness Cabins. I get to check the Contemporary off my list. Super excited for that. Going to stay in a Garden Wing room, which I've checked out before. Scotty G stayed in one, man, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And we hung out in that room a little bit. And those things are gigantic. And excited to check that out. It's ironic, though, because I'm flying solo for a couple nights in one of those rooms, and big old room, just Mike in that room. But I'll be there with my good buddy Ben Lappin. I think his family's coming down with him, so I get to hang out with him a little bit. And we're going to do a lot of the cool kid summer events as we're down there. Of course, we'll go over to the studios and check out the new Villain show, the new Little Mermaid show. Be honest, more excited for the Little Mermaid show than I am the Villain show right now. Just saying. Maybe it's because when I grew up with Paige, that was her jam. We watch that movie together all the time. I'm not really a big villains guy either. Am I a villain? Maybe I'm a hero. Maybe I'm a villain. I don't know. You have to let me know. Anyway, we're going to be doing that stuff, seeing Goofy over in Communicore, and maybe seeing some roaming characters around the resorts. But we'll be bringing it all to you, so please make sure you're following me, especially on Instagram at BeOurGuestMike. We'll be bringing all that coverage to you on the socials, and then once we get back next week here on the show, we'll be talking about all that fun stuff that we covered down there with you here on the podcast. But appreciate you being here. Now, the reason this show is a little bit different is we had a last-minute cancellation. Totally my fault. Little miscommunication on whether it was the 27th of May, 27th of June when we had this scheduled. All my fault. Nobody else's. So just jumping in. So what we're going to do is kind of do a State of the Union. I've wanted to do this forever. Just never had the right time to kind of take 10 or 15 minutes to address this kind of stuff. And then I'm going to open up the phone lines for maybe 30 minutes and just kind of get the heartbeat of the show. Where are you with the podcast? Where are you with your Disney trips? Take a few calls if we can, if you want to, and then we'll call it a show. We'll start the week and you'll have something here on the feed to listen to, hopefully to put a smile on your face. Somebody could call in and share a great antidote, a great story, a great cast member compliment, maybe something that happened on a great trip here recently. I just love being able to share good here on the podcast. But like I said, a little state of the union for the podcast. I wanted to mention some of the stuff that we don't get to mention very often, that we should mention all the time. One of those things is I am extremely proud that we have a running team associated with our podcast. And some of our newer listeners might not know this. We have a running team called the Be Our Guest Lizards that has been around a super long time. Over 10 years, we've been together, running together, walking together. You don't have to be a runner. You don't have to be some kind of an elite runner, or else they wouldn't let me be in the group. It's just folks that want to support each other in a fitness journey. You want to get out there, lose a couple pounds, just improve your health, just set a good example for your kids, whether you're old, your kids are older, your kids are younger, whatever. Just do it for yourself because you're a single person. It doesn't matter. If you just want to get out there and set a goal to get into a Run Disney event, your first 5K, something in your community, it does not matter. There's the best part about the Lizards. There's no commitment. There's no pledge that you have to sign. You're going to get out there, and as long as you just go over to the Facebook group, it's called Be Our Guest Lizards. I love that Mike Bankhead did put a couple questions there so we don't get Russian spam bots in the group, which is awesome, that you have to say, who's your favorite person on the Be Our Guest podcast? There is a right answer. It's me. Just kidding. It's not. But what it does, it just makes sure you know the names of the people on the podcast, because Russian spam bots don't know that. And once you prove that you have actually listened to one episode of the podcast and you pass the little quiz, you're in. And then you just post a run or a question or anything you have, and everybody will support you. It is the most supportive group out there. Everybody, if you have a question or, you run in a race, everybody's going to be in your corner. And we don't talk about that enough here on the show. And the thing is, people run for charitable causes. We donate money to Give Kids the World. And this Saturday coming up, I just wanted you to know, is our Lizard Running Day. So there'll be a post about that over in the Lizards this week. But Saturday, just want to remind everybody to don your Lizard Green. I call it Volt. I think that's the official color. It's called Volt. But we're going to have our Lizard gear on Saturday. And there's a window of time. I'll do mine super early. But get out there and run a few miles, take that selfie, post it for the Lizards Run Day, and it'll be amazing to see all the smiles and all the miles that we all share together virtually around the world. Because literally, we're not just in a state, we're not in a part of the country, we are worldwide. And it blows me away that we have this reach. We'll have people on different continents doing this all together, smiling, running, walking, and everybody cheering each other on. So I just wanted to thank everybody who's a part of the Lizards and who gets out there and supports everybody to make everybody a little bit better. Because, it doesn't have to be a runner. Walkers, it doesn't matter because you're pushing the miles just the same. The speed does not matter. As long as you're putting in the miles, you're getting it done. And we appreciate you so much. So be a part of the Lizards. Come over and join us, especially this Saturday. And we have so many folks that help us. Joe, Molly, Mike Bankhead, Ben puts the shirts together. It's just so many people. So just come on over. But I'm thankful for everybody who puts that on because I love it. I don't get to compliment everybody on every run, but when I see Buck posting his things at his 1112 streak that he has at his high school, lights on, lights off, and all that stuff. I don't even understand what that means half the time. But he's smiling, he's encouraging the young people, and he's always a positive role model in his community. I mean, that is the good stuff. And then I'm I'm kind of his teammate. When I see those posts, I'm a teammate of Laurie. I'm a teammate of Buck. I'm a teammate of, Debbie. I'm a teammate of all these people that inspire me. And I just love the camaraderie that we have, even though it's virtual. And then we get to see each other every once in a while at races, which makes it a bajillion times better. But just come be a part of the team. So, kind of state of the union for the podcast. We are blessed to have a group like that does so much good because it helps us kind of stay motivated, but it also helps us to form real community and also raise money for charity in all these events that we do. Another thing, we have the Discord. We talk about this a lot, but if you don't know what a Discord is, I was going to take a couple minutes and kind of break that down because I always kind of rush through it at the end of the podcast because I know you're probably either fast forwarding or tuning out or whatever because I listen to a bunch of shows too. But the Discord, the way I describe it, because my wife, I keep trying to get my wife to join the Discord, right? And she's not. She's totally not. She's a Facebook person. She won't get on Twitter, but she does get on Facebook because she's like that kind of person that wants to see like what all of her high school friends and stuff do. But the way I describe it to her to get on there, I'm like, it's kind of like a live chat because it's pretty live. You can see the people who are on right now, but it's also kind of like an old message board because you can leave messages asynchronously and kind of see what's going on from the day or a couple days ago, whatever. You can just read through. And there's a little bit of learning curve at first. You look at it and it kind of looks like a jumbled mess. But then after a few days, you get used to it. Your brain starts to see how it flows. And it's really simple because you can add pictures, GIFs, all that stuff. It's so fun. But what you have there, if you stick with it for a day or two, you start to see it truly is like our little corner pub. It's like our little Cheers. Like you see Veronica, you see Mohawk, you see Jason, you see Scott, you see Maria, you see Trisha with her trivia. You see everybody just hops in. People hop in, they hop out. You know, some people get in because a lot of people are in Europe. Some people are in the States. Some people are Asia. People are all over the place. And so you'll see like your timestamp that Mohawk's, posting stuff at like 2:42 a.m. in my time. I hop on the treadmill on my walk days and I'll hop in at, and like reply to something at 5:14 a.m. my time. But some people are night owls, but the thing is it's a conversation that never stops. And people hop in and say, I have this situation where I'm taking a couple of teenagers, trying not to spend $1 gajillion on food because teenagers never stop eating. Who has some suggestions of how to feed these teens? We're staying at Caribbean Beach. Like, what should we do? Boom. Then you have like people coming out of the woodwork like, oh my gosh, I have teenagers right now. We just got back. Here's what worked. Here's what didn't. And then I have, other people that say, oh my gosh, our kids are in college now, but when they were teens, here's what we did. And it's awesome. Because it's the community rallies around each other. But there's not just the Disney boards because we have channels for like dining, the resorts, the theme parks. We have a whole TV and movies channel where you can talk spoilers for like Andor and all the movies and all the Disney Channel stuff, all the streaming stuff. It's awesome. And we have like a thing where if you don't want to read the spoilers, it covers it up unless you click on it. And then that's all on you. If you click on it, you read the spoilers, but you don't see it initially. It's awesome. But we also have a sports center channel. We talk all kinds of sports. If any sporting events happening, boom. I mean, high level, any golf, football, baseball, it doesn't matter. We talk sports. But we also have like a memory lane channel that people post pictures from like when they were kids from like the 80s or the 90s. And you get to see the old hat at the studios or the wand at Epcot or, some old Tapestry of Dreams parade pictures. But these are like pictures from our listeners of when they used to go to Walt Disney World. And it's so cute to see the fashion, the history of the parks, and just stuff like tickets, like physical tickets back when they had them, old fast passes. That is a great channel. It's nostalgia. So come over there. And then I have my Mike's Favorite Things channel, which I just post all kinds of random stuff from my childhood. Nothing to do with anything. But I mean, it's always fun to see like a thing of Hydrux cookies or, today I posted the box of the Star Wars movie when it came out on VHS for the very first time because that was today as we're recording. So it's totally free. I know some other shows charge for the Discord server. Not us. We just want to have a community. So come on over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. You just pick a screen name. Boom. You come into the welcome center. I promise you, I'll give you a shout out. I'll say, welcome to the show. And then just pick any message board you want, read it, post, and everybody will say, hey, glad you're here. And then boom, you got a bar stool. You're a part of the Cheers. So what else? A couple other things for kind of the State of the Union with the podcast. I'm going to ask a couple things. One is, I don't know how you consume the show. This show has changed so much since we started the show in March of 2008. Get that right. 2008 is when we started the show. Mallory was 2 months old. She is a senior at this point. That's scary. So it was a lot different back then. Everybody downloaded it back then. Very few people streamed it. One of the ways you can get the show in a pinch, if you ever, I don't know if you know this or not, but you can just go to beourguestpodcast.com, even on your mobile device. And it's a very mobile friendly website. So if you ever just want to listen to the show, if you just go right into your mobile browser and type in beourguestpodcast.com, it's super mobile friendly. It's got all the latest shows right there. And there's a play button and it works lickety split. That I appreciate. One of our listeners, Adam, helped put that site together for us a few years back. And I update it with every show. So please use it if you ever get in a pinch and like your app isn't working. It should always be there for you with the summaries and the play button. You can also obviously download it and listen to it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. I use Pocket Cast. That's kind of I've been using that app for probably 10 years. It's been purchased and sold a few different times in that time. I think Dr. Kai recommended it to me 10 years ago, and I'm like, Dr. Kai knows his stuff, so I've never changed. It always works. I'm pretty if you listen to Mike in the Midwest, if you're a patron, I'm a person of habit. When I find something that I like, I stick with it. And Pocket Cast has always worked. Apple Podcasts is a pretty decent app too. That app, there's nothing wrong with it, but Pocket Cast kind of sings. It's got a few extra features that I like. So I just go with that. But wherever you get your podcast, just a couple things I'm going to ask, if you don't mind. If you could make sure that you're always subscribed, and a lot of these apps now have different words for subscribe. Some of them are called follow. I think Apple Podcasts now calls it like follow instead of subscribe, because subscribe, I think, on Apple Podcasts is like a paid version. We don't offer that. We just have our Patreon. But just make sure you're following, because that does help other people find us, because it keeps us higher in the ratings. And if you wouldn't mind, every so often, like every few years, if you haven't in the last few years, if you could leave us a 5-star review and a rating and a review, that would be amazing, because they do go stale after a while. And those are what keep us kind of relevant in the store. It's really hard for older shows to stay like in the mix in your category with Apple Podcasts, because the new shows always get all the bump because they get the biggest surge in their downloads because they don't have anything as a baseline. We have a big baseline, so we never see like a surge in downloads because we already have a huge kind of baseline to go from, so we never jump. But when we get ratings and reviews, the algorithm sees that and it helps us. So if you can do that every once in a while, I'd really appreciate that. One other thing real quick is that we do have a YouTube channel. Now, I don't know if people know this, and I am not somebody to look at. I never was. But if you ever want to see what happens as we make the shows, as we put the shows together, you can always go back and watch the shows at youtube.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. They're all there. They're all there. You can subscribe to the channel right there, get a notification every time we go live as well. So that's kind of fun, because here's why you might want to go to YouTube. If you ever are kind of want to know what happens behind the scenes, because on the YouTube channel, you get the pre-show and the post-show, because we start the YouTube channel before we start recording. So you hear stuff that happens before the audio show. You hear between the two shows, because I don't know if you know this, but you probably do. You know. But we record the Wednesday and the Friday shows back to back. And so there's like a little bit in between of them where I have to save it and all that kind of stuff. And we shoot the bull for about 2 or 3 minutes. So that's on the YouTube channel. And then we close out after I stop recording. So if you ever want a little bonus content, it's on the YouTube channel. So if you subscribe there, that would help us too with YouTube's algorithm. So do that if you could on YouTube. Subscribe. Scott's always asking for his YouTube subscribers, so I'll ask for a couple if you don't mind. And that's something you could do as well. So just a couple of this housekeeping things. And, you know, we have our Patreon. It's $5 a month. So I think Mallory the other day, she wanted me to get her a cup of coffee, and I think it was more than that at a place called 7 Brew. I about had a heart attack. I don't drink coffee. I just drink Coke Zeros. And I think it's like $7 for 12 cans or something. And I almost had a heart attack because I usually buy it on sale. It wasn't on sale for once. And I was like, it's $7 for like my whole 12 pack. And usually it's only like $5 on sale. And her cup of coffee was like $6. I was like, holy cow. But it's $5 a month. And you get the shows this bonus show each week, which is Mike in the Midwest, just kind of telling stories. I usually do it on Sunday mornings. So if you feel like you would like to support, you're not supporting the Mike in the Midwest, you're supporting all this. So we can do video podcasts and do, multiple shows a week so we can keep the content going. That'd be great too. Anyway, that's kind of where I wanted to go with the State of the Union. I love doing the shows. Scott, Pam, and Ricky, we all love doing the shows. I hope you're enjoying the shows. If you ever have any suggestions for topics, come on over to the Discord. Drop them in. There's a channel there called Current BOGP Discussion. Just drop it in there because we have some ideas coming up right from that thread that we're going to use. But I love doing the show. I don't know. It's not looking like it's going to sunset anytime soon. I just wanted to give you some ideas as to how we can work as a community to keep the show relevant, to keep the show going. Now, I'm going to open up the phone lines because we have a few minutes here since we had a cancellation. We had that snafu in the scheduling. And if you want to call in and talk about a recent Disney trip or something that you're excited about with a cruise coming up, or you want to share a cast member compliment, a highlight from a recent trip you haven't been able to get through I know some people said, I haven't been able to get in the last couple of call-in shows. Now's your chance. So the phone number is 407-584-7173, 407-584-7173. And we're going to stay on the air here for about 30 more minutes. Take some calls, talk some Disney, and see what's on your mind. You want to talk about the show? You ever have a question about the podcast? Tonight would be a great question to ask. Tonight would be a great night to ask anything about the show. You could even ask me about stuff, behind the scenes, about editing or about putting the show together. That'd be fun for me. So again, 407-584-7173. And we have our first call. So let me grab this and do this. Got to do a couple things here and that. And we have our first caller. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike. This is Ashley in New Jersey. How are you?
I'm doing great, Ashley. Thanks for bailing me out. And what's going on?
Oh, of course. I've been trying to get in the last couple call-in shows, and you've been busy. Busy guy.
Dude, well, hey, it's a good thing we had a little snafu with the schedule. I'm like, you know what? Pulling out the laptop, impromptu State of the Union / call-in show. Let's go. So what's on your mind?
I love it. I love it. I have a couple questions for you if you don't mind.
No, let's go.
Perfect. So you're a travel agent for our cruise coming up in May 2026. So we still have a ways to go, but my husband and I, we're going in with a group of about 10 people. There's going to be 2 other families, a lot of kids. We're platinum, so we get priority for booking things.
Hang on.
Everyone else.
Hang on. Whoa. I gotta give you a bell for being platinum. Me too. That's awesome.
Hey, that's a VR Guest podcast goal for me to get the bell. I love it.
By the way, you don't get to cruise very late today. I got to book a cruise. So as we're recording, it's a Tuesday, right? I booked a cruise for a family.
Yeah.
They're sailing on Friday. How about that?
Oh my goodness.
I know, for real.
That's awesome.
I'm like, dude, I mean, half the fun is kind of looking forward to it, kind of. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
I agree.
Dude, but still,
Yeah,
I told her, like, you get to go on Friday. I'm insanely jealous. Like, that's this weekend. Whatever.
Is she leaving out of Canaveral?
Yeah, it's the same cruise we're doing for the podcast cruise. Yeah, the Magic 5-nighter to the Bahamas. I'm like, so just tell me how it is. I mean, since you're like totally stealing my thunder like this weekend, but yeah, go.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you. But I mean, it's a dream.
You're doing such a big trip last minute. You might as well just go to Disney World at that point too, right?
Well, the whole thing
Just add
is,
it on.
well, here's the thing. This show's not coming out until after they're gone. They're going to be out at sea. They're not even telling their kids. They're telling their kids are going to the
that's
beach.
great.
They're telling their kids are going to the beach.
Oh, that's
How
going
about
to be
that?
fun.
I know. That's, dude, my parents, like, we're lucky to get to go to Six Flags.
Yeah. Hey,
Seriously.
I like Six Flags. We're very close to the one in Jersey. We go a lot. Big fans.
I mean, like a big day was if you got to have lunch in the park. Like, I mean, if we got to go to Six Flags, usually I had to leave for lunch and go down to the KFC, like on the service road. And then like you'd eat like a bucket of chicken in the bed of the pickup. That was like our big day. I mean, we never got to go on a cruise. Like, hey, guess what?
I hope she's bringing she has to do a listener show because I want to hear how it goes, but I hope she's bringing the kids to the airport and not telling them where they're going. Is that what they're doing?
I think they might be driving the way she was talking. I don't even know because they didn't get transfers. Yeah. So anyway, I didn't mean to hijack it, but we said you're platinum, dude. I'm like, let's go because me too.
Oh no, it's a great story.
Okay, so
the other
April,
families,
yeah, go ahead.
the families we're sailing with are first timers. So my husband and I can book our excursions and everything. I think in like 22 days, but who's counting? Mm-hmm. Are we able to book for them as well, or just for our party? Do you know?
Nope. You can only do it for you. I know it stinks.
Oh man.
Well, I know because
Well, I guess
okay,
we're gonna
so I'm in the same boat, right? Because Scott is gold and I'm platinum, right? But so with in a
you should
different
ring the bell for yourself, Mike.
well, so here's the thing though, not for like booking. We all got what we wanted for our podcast cruise because we're pretty close. Platinum and gold's pretty close, and our sailing. There's not a lot of like platinum and cruisers on it. We've realized we're in a Facebook group and we can kind of see. They did a poll and there's hardly any gold and platinum on the Facebook group. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I told them because platinum can get on anytime, right? With their port arrival time, platinums can kind of bump up and get on anytime. I think still. It used to be the case.
Oh, so this will be our first cruise platinum.
Okay.
So I'm actually not even too familiar with the perks, but that's good to know.
I think it used to be the case that platinum could board at any time. So your port arrival time doesn't matter. Like platinum, it can get on with like right behind concierge. Like concierge gets on first, but then platinum can go next. But I always get on with Scott. So Scott doesn't get to check in till like 3 days after me because gold is after platinum for the actual check-in day. So I told him, I'm like, dude, if I'm getting on with you, you better be up at midnight and get a good port arrival time because
absolutely,
if I'm walking on with you, I don't want to be getting on at 19 because we're riding over to the port together. So that's super important. No, so now, wait, what cruise are you guys doing again? Like, what's the? Because you can usually tell the demographics.
Doing the Disney Fantasy out of Port Canaveral. It's 2 sea days and then both of the private islands. So we're going to Castaway and Lighthouse, and then the Nassau, but I count that as a sea day, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. I'm not getting off at Nassau. So it's a 4 night on the Fantasy.
It's a 5 night actually.
That's such a different itinerary. It's hard to say like what the because some cruises I can tell like that's going to lean more like a lot of platinums or a lot of golds or a lot of first timers, a lot of silvers. That one, since it's a new itinerary, the Fantasy is a popular ship. I'd say that one though, with it being out of Canaveral, Bahamian cruise, it's going to be a lot of silvers and I think you're going to be fine. You're going to be way up there with the platinum.
Right.
But the first timers, that's going to be a thing. So what are you trying to get? Like Palo Brunch and stuff like that? I
definitely want to do Palo Brunch for sure. We've never done Remy, so I think this might be the cruise where we try that as well.
Yeah, Scott loved that.
Even when I'm like the last, a lot of times I don't even plan in advance and I do this very last minute. And I tend to have luck getting these kind of things. So I'm hoping if they just are diligent with checking back, maybe they can join us in some of these things.
Well, too, and here's the thing, and I've never had to do this because I also don't, like once I'm on the ship, I don't care. Like if I don't get something, I don't like haggle after it. Like I just kind of say, I'll just do something else. Like I don't chase it down, but I do ask a lot of my guests when they get back, and a lot of my guests email me. And if you go upon arrival to the ship and you go to guest services and say like, okay, we didn't get Remy. I'm just saying for your friends, right? Say you did, because they probably will not get Palo Brunch because there's only gonna be one sea day, and that's the only time it'll be offered. So
could we book it with them if we booked a Palo Brunch? Could we book it for a party of say 6?
Nope.
And include them in our reservation?
No, because it'll only when you do your online check-in, it'll only have check boxes for you guys that are platinum.
Oh,
that's how it works. Like it'll say like who in your because it'll only be the people that are 18 that are platinum in your room.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, that stinks.
So yeah. So
oh well.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is, here's the thing though, if they go immediately upon getting on the ship and say, okay, and they might have to go up to Palo itself. Sometimes they do go to Palo. Sometimes it'll be like in Seoul. You guys are on the Fantasy, so it might be like, I'm trying to think where it'd be in Fantasy, like Oak Hills, or they put it in weird places, but or the Rose or something, whatever. But they'll put it somewhere and say, just meet with the staff and just ask, because they do hold back about 30 to 40% of the reservations for on ship. And
that's good to know.
Yeah, and so you might not get the exact same time, but you might be able to move yours to theirs, and you can eat together. They work with you. They want you to be happy, especially with places like, Remy or Palo, because it's upscale dining. And you're platinum, so they'll work with you too. Tell them that.
Yeah, so we're each a family of 4, so it's 2 adults and 2 kids in every party. So we're very much looking forward to dropping these kids at the kids club and hopefully all going together to Palo.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, hey, this cruise coming up for me in July. This is the first time my wife and I have gone on a vacation since we've been married by ourselves. 19 years.
Wow.
19 years. I know. We won't know
Oh,
what to
that's
do.
going to be awesome.
I know. What do we do? It's crazy. I know. I don't know how it's
You're
going
going
to
to have such a great time. We have the young kids, so we're in the early stages of that, but the kids club are made for us, that's for sure.
So now you're platinum though. So have you sailed the Fantasy before?
We have. Yeah, we were on the Fantasy this past summer, right? Yeah, we were on the Fantasy this past summer. That's a great ship. Probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, it probably is my favorite ship, that of the Treasure, but I think it's probably the Fantasy. I love the Fantasy.
Yeah, I've done the 4 classics. I have not even done the Wish yet, but I'm hoping to get on that one soon, and definitely the Treasure.
So, what do you think of? Because I'm just kind of getting your feedback because I'm like really excited for the Magic here, obviously shortly, and I've been on the Wonder too. But what do you think about the classic ships?
Oh, I love the classic ships. They're smaller, right? Aren't the classic ones a little bit smaller?
Oh yeah, they're markedly smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like all those ships. The classic ones are great.
Yeah.
I think we were in a classic. Were we on the Magic? I think we were actually on the Magic this past summer, and yeah, you can feel how much smaller it is, and it's a great ship.
You notice it when you get in the atrium after you go on a ship like
right,
like the Wish or the Dream or the Fantasy, because they are really stretched out in the middle. Yeah, and
that's right. No, we were on the Magic. That's right.
Yeah, but I'm excited because new restaurants and stuff like that, new shows.
So you have not been on the Magic before?
Not since 1998, the year it launched.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, you're gonna have a blast.
I know. Where
are you going? What are your stops?
Just Nassau, Lookout, and Castaway in a sea day, which is fine. 5 nights is it's perfect for us because we're trying to find something for the podcast group, but that wasn't super long, that people could get off work and that we could, still have enough time on the ship. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun.
I would love to get on the podcast cruise one of these years. Hopefully next year we can make that happen.
Yeah, and this is the last one that's going to be in the dead of the summer because now, like, my kid will be off at college, my last kid, and my wife's retired, so we can do like a Halloween cruise or something in the winter time when it's warm in the Caribbean. We're going to have way more flexibility moving forward.
Yeah, you don't have to work on the teacher schedule anymore.
Nope,
nice.
I know, for the first time in my life. I know, it's so bizarre. I don't know what to do at this point in my life. Like, yeah, my wife's been home, it would be summer normally, because it's summer break at this point, but is this going to be the rest of our lives where we're bumping into each other in the house already? It's
now you want to go like early to mid-September, plan your vacations for them when all the kids are just going back to school.
Well, I have a rule though. I don't travel during football season. At least not this year. At least not this year because my daughter's a senior and she's a cheerleader, so I can't miss any cheer games because
makes sense.
Senior year we gotta stick for that. But maybe after this year, we'll see.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I have a bonus question for you if you have another minute.
No, go ahead.
We planned another impromptu trip to World this September. So I had a baby 2 months ago. So we're going with our 2-year-old, and it's going to be our now, I guess at the time, 6-month-old. What do you recommend as far as hotels go? We're going to be doing a lot of pool days, I'm sure. Anything that sticks out to you that might be best?
Dang. And you know what? The best trip we took was when Mallory was 6 months old. She was so chill. Dude, when she got to be like,
the 6-month-old isn't the problem.
Yeah, I was saying that when they're 2 old, yeah, I was saying, but you got the 2-year-old, dude. When she was 2, she was a terror. Oh my God. But you got both. See, ours were 11 years apart. That was great. And Stephanie over at Instagram says the Magic is the best. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.
That's my sister.
Oh, is it? Hey, what's
Steph.
up? Steph Lands. Okay. Anyway, this has got the whole family affair here all of a sudden. So, no, I would go a moderate because they have really nice pools without breaking the bank. And like in September, you can probably get a song of a deal too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always sing Coronado's praises, but the dig site pool, it's pretty sweet, man. It's got a little poolside bar.
I love that pool. I always forget about Coronado.
Oh, that's a good pool. That's a good pool for like a pool day. It's got some shade for like if you want to get the baby out. There's kind of that corner that's got the shade over kind of by the slide. There's like a little splash area over there because I don't like sun either.
That's a great suggestion.
I like that.
Yeah,
pool.
I think the splash pad's the most important thing. I'm glad you mentioned that.
You can get out of the sun for the baby, and I'm a big baby, so I get out of the sun. That's kind of where I hang out too. But you can get poolside drinks, and they have like empanadas and stuff over there if you don't want to go all the way back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in years.
Yeah, siesta bar or something. It's really good.
That'll be awesome. And my sister Steph was in the chat. She actually worked on the Magic. You'll have to get her on a call-in show one of these days.
Holy smokes! You know what?
That's why it's her favorite ship.
Man, if I was younger, like in another lifetime, one of my dream jobs would have been to be entertainment on a Disney Cruise Line ship. Because I've done, I used to work as a mobile DJ. I worked as a mobile DJ. Like I was an instructor at space camp. That would have been my jam. Because you had to be so flexible in everything you did. Like at space camp, you're always like running around, like teaching all these classes with all these people and doing demonstrations and all that. Like that would have been so cool. Like I could do, I could do awesome. Bingo. I could teach towel folding and all that stuff. Like how to do like race potato, like make the cars out of the baked potatoes and race them. Dude, that'd be my jam. I
love it.
Oh, let's go.
She worked in the kids clubs, and I think she needs to get a job back on the ship so that my kids can stay there all day on our May cruise.
And get you some discounts. I mean, you got to get to Pearl here soon. I mean, you're already platinum. You got to go Pearl. I mean, that's your next life goal.
Exactly. Well, perfect. You answered so many of my questions. It was really helpful. I'm going to have a lot more as our cruise gets a little bit closer too, so I'll definitely be calling in.
I could talk cruising all day, so I appreciate it, and thanks for supporting the show by letting us book the trip. That keeps us going. I appreciate it so much.
Oh, you're the best. When you booked it for us, I hadn't even have the baby yet, and then you had to add her on later, so I appreciate you doing that for us.
Hey, that's what we do. I mean, not that, but we'll always add the kid to the reservation, but that's out of our hands. So and good luck. I hear the baby there, so have fun. It's cute as all get out, but we're not having any of that around these parts anymore.
I love it. Well, enjoy the podcast cruise if I don't talk to you before then, and I'll definitely be calling in again soon.
All right. You guys take care. It's so good to talk to you.
Thanks. Appreciate you, Mike. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. 407. Oh, I didn't hit the thing. 407-41. No, that's the old phone number. 407 584-7173. If you want to call in to be a part of the show. God, I got to talk cruising, so it's a good Monday here on the feed. Anytime I get to talk cruising, got to sneak a little podcast cruise, got to sneak in a little Disney fantasy. That's good stuff. And thanks to everybody who is joining us. We got lots of folks tuned in on YouTube. Lots of folks tuned in I can see over on Facebook. Lots of folks are tuned in today over on Instagram at the same time. Remember, kind of with the State of the Union stuff, we usually record the shows on Mondays around 5:30 Eastern. And if you're subscribed to the show on any of the channels, especially YouTube, you get that notification when we go live. And you can join us as we record, and you can chat with us and be a part of the show and get shout outs and all that stuff. And it's so much fun. But give us a call right now at 407-413. No, that's the old phone number. I'm such a creature of habit. We just changed, if you didn't know, we changed the phone number because Skype went out of business about 3 weeks ago. Our new phone number is 407-584-7173. Got it. It's written down really big right in front of me. I should get this. 407-584-7173. You want to talk Disney? Let's talk about it right now. We had our great call, but we can take one more here before we call it a show. So now is your chance. 407-584-7173. So again, like I said here, as you're listening to the show on the feed on Monday, getting ready to head down to Walt Disney World to meet up with Pam Forrester and a lot of the folks from the Magic for Less tomorrow night, Tuesday evening. I'll be staying at Coronado Springs for that very first night, just getting there kind of late. I think my plane lands at like 8 o'clock in the evening. Got to check in, stay at Coronado that evening so I can get up in the morning, do my run because they have a great fitness center, and then meet up with the gang from the Magic for Less. We're all going to get together at the Contemporary, staying again over there for the very first time, that Garden Wing Room. Super excited for that. And we're going to go around and just kind of see what's going on for the Cool Kids Summer at Walt Disney World. So please do follow me on Instagram at BRGuestMike. I'll be going live. I'll be taking pictures and videos and posting it all there. But super excited to wake up. It's waking up on a Wednesday morning at Walt Disney World it's just an exciting thing. I think I mentioned this on a show about a week ago with Scott. And I've been thinking about this ever since we talked about this. That I don't know if this is like a petty thing or not, But there is something special about being at a Disney destination, whether it's on a cruise ship, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, what have you. But being there during the week, you know, like waking up at Walt Disney World on a Wednesday morning at the Contemporary and knowing, oh, wait a second. I don't have to crack open the laptop. I don't have to check through 17 emails while I eat my breakfast burrito. The same one that I have every single morning, my Jimmy Dean breakfast burrito out of the microwave. Today, I get to get up, look outside my room, and there's Bay Lake back there. And I'm hearing the train from the Magic Kingdom, and I'm hearing the boat, the ferry from taking people over to the Magic Kingdom. And in just a second, I can walk myself right over to the Magic Kingdom and ride Space Mountain or ride Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or go on the Haunted Mansion. I mean, and it's a Wednesday morning. There's something that just gets me excited about that more than being a weekend. Because in the weekends, the world is kind of doing that kind of stuff. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. They are playing more, but it feels like you're getting away with something when it's a Wednesday morning at 9:22. And instead of being like we're supposed to be sitting on a keyboard doing work, we're strolling down Main Street with a churro in our hand and listening to the background loop playing on Main Street. It's, and it's in person, because how many of us listen to that background loop as we work in our office and daydream like, oh man, I wish I was there today. But on those lucky days, we are there. So I think it's cool to take that in every once in a while. And that's going to happen. I'm only going to be there for 2 days. But you know what? 2 days is better than 0 days. And I think we need to appreciate each and every time we get to have these experiences. Because these are the days we work so hard for. You know, we don't get to go on cruises very often. If you're lucky, you might get to go once a year, once every 2 years, once every 3 years. If you're lucky, you get to go to Walt Disney World or Disneyland once a year, maybe twice a year. You know, it depends on your circumstances. Sometimes you get to go more, sometimes you get to go less. Regardless, when you're there, and I think we all do this, you just need to wake up that morning with a smile on your face. And when you look outside that resort window, whether you're seeing Hourglass Lake or you're seeing just some bushes that are at All-Star Sports, you're seeing a big tennis ball can that covers up the stairwell, just realize how blessed you are and how great of a day it's going to be. Instead of going out there to mow the grass or, open up the keyboard or what have you, deliver the mail, you get to go have fun. You get to go ride trains or monorails or light cycles. You get to go in scary elevators that are going to drop us into parts unknown or, doom buggies taking us into haunted mansions. It's a pretty cool gig. And we get to talk about that here on the show. And I'd never forget how blessed we are to get to talk about the good times in life. Because that's all this show is. This show's nothing serious. It's about hopefully always putting a smile on your face and sharing great stories that we all have from these great trips and just talking about the good stuff. And I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate you so much. So thank you for joining me for an impromptu show. I know it wasn't the best show ever, but I wanted to have a show for you here on the feed, and we had a last minute cancellation. And so I thought I'd open up the phone line. Thank you for that great call and give you kind of a state of the union as to some ways to connect with the podcast. Because the one thing I want to have with this show is community. I want us to all connect because I truly believe that we have so much in common. And when we make those connections, we make the world a better place. And our community does that just unbelievably well. So thank you for being a part of the Be Our Guest podcast community. I hope we can always continue to grow the show and our community and keep doing good in the world. And I think we do that through this little podcast. It is so crazy, but I really, really think we do that in a small way. So anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll have a listener question show on Wednesday. We'll record that a little bit early, and we'll have that out while I'm at Walt Disney World. Friday, we'll have another show as well. I'm just glad you're here. So don't forget, our show's always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure, whether it's to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney. Use the folks over at the Magic for Less. It's absolutely free to use their services, and you get first class concierge level service each and every time. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. When you click through that, it takes you right back to the Amazon site, and it gives us a very small commission. But if everybody does that, it all does add up in the long run, and it helps us out. So please use it as often as you can. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the lifeblood of the show. This stuff, it takes a little bit to pay for it, and that's where all the money goes right back into every month. So thank you for that. It's $5 a month, and for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. So come on over to patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. We'll have a live show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. You can call and talk to myself or Scott, and we'll just be talking Disney. That's what we do. I'll just be back from Walt Disney World, so we'll have lots to share there. You can join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch for the live call-in show. And again, join us in the clubhouse. It's free for everybody. It's our Discord server. Come on over. I'm waiting for you. I'll give you a personal welcome. beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Also, I'm on the social media at beourguestmike. Give me a follow because I'll be posting all like crazy on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. All right. That's been a lot of talking. I didn't expect to talk this much on a Monday, but hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a lot. But until we get back together again on Wednesday, I'll be posting live from Walt Disney World. Hope you enjoy the coverage. Until we talk again, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.